Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. All right, listen to this, guys. I have shocking news from Diddy's case. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's a Friday morning. Y'all know it's my favorite day of the week. I got a good show set up for you guys today so that we can all get on with the weekend. All right, I got 4 lead stories for you guys today. We're going to talk about Donald Trump and Kamala Harris not having another rematch. Then we're going to talk about Stephan A Smith and Nicki Manaj beefing, Lil Tay having a life-threatening heart tumor, and then in our final lead story, I'm going to tell you about the shocking details from the new Diddy case. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about the White House hosting a brunch for Black excellence, Luther Vandross's documentary hitting theaters November the 1st. And then we're going to close off with Celebs sounding off on Shannon Sharpe and his IG live antics. Then, as always, we're going to close out with question of the day and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Donald Trump doubles down that he will not participate in a rematch against VP Kamala Harris. All right, well, we knew that this was coming, but now, after, I think it was on the Wednesday, Trump was like, I don't think so. Now it's definitive. He definitely is not going to do it. I think it's because he knows now the repercussions of what it has done, and he does not want to put himself back in that situation. Although he doesn't want to admit it, and he won't say it. And you'll hear about what I'm about to read to you. He's saying that out of every poll out there that he won, which is a complete lie. Y'all know that he did not win at all. Anyways, let's get on with this. Donald Trump tweeted out and said, when a prize winner loses a fight, the first words out his mouth is, I want a rematch. Polls clearly show I won the debate against comrade Kamala Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate, on Tuesday night, and she immediately called a second debate. She and Crooked Joe have destroyed our country with millions of criminals and mentally deranged people pouring into the USA. She was a no-show for the Fox debate, and she refuses to do NBC and CBS. Kamala should focus on what she should have done during the last 4 years, period. There will be no third debate. So the one thing that I will say, the 2 things that I will say I find a little interesting is when he said that she refuses to do NBC and CBS, I would like somebody to fact check that, because he said that she didn't show up for the Fox debate, which is ridiculous because there was no Fox debate scheduled. But I do wonder if she is refusing to do NBC and CBS. I understand refusing to do Fox, but I'd be interested to see if it's true, if she's refusing to do that. Just for those who aren't super familiar out there, normally, because nothing happens normal for Donald Trump, normally presidential candidates do debate 2 or sometimes 3 times, and then the vice presidents debate 1 time. That's what happened with Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama, all of these people. So him saying that he will not have a third debate, saying that he did one with Joe and one with her, is not common. And I think it's because he's afraid of, the outcome. I don't know what to say. To be honest with you, I particularly don't want to see another one. I was very excited for this first one. By the way, it broke all kinds of records with, I think, 70 million people tuning in, which was even more than Joe Biden and Trump. But you know what? I don't want to see another debate. It's going to be more of the same thing. It's going to be the same outcome. It's going to be the same topics. Nothing is going to be different. Kamala Harris is going to bait him in. He's going to talk about crowd sizes and stuff. So, you know what? I'm on Trump's side this time. I don't think that there should be another debate. Go on your platforms or on your crowds or your rallies. Go to your journalists and, interview and talk with the people. Do interviews and talk with the people. I'm done with the debates. All right, in our second lead story, Stephan A Smith criticizes Nicki Manaj's response to Kendrick Lamar being chosen to perform at the Super Bowl. Stephan A Smith shares some words after Nicki Manaj seemingly took shots at Jay-Z a few days ago. As we previously reported, Kendrick Lamar being chosen to perform at the upcoming Super Bowl in New Orleans started an uproar online as many of Lil Wayne's peers expressed their frustrations. Among those people were Nicki Manaj. She seemingly called Jay-Z a sellout in her tweet, and Stephan A Smith criticized her for her choice of words. Y'all know how I feel about Stephan A Smith's podcast, man. Just, he does these things on purpose. Here's Stephan A Smith. Take a listen.
Come on, Nicki. Who else you gonna get in the beef with? Lil' Kim, Mariah Carey, Cardi B, Gucci Mane. I'm just looking at all of this stuff. Taylor Swift. You disagree with the decision? You disagree with the decision? You got to talk about the brother like that? And why are we talking about Jay-Z like he's some damn sellout or something?
Okay, that's enough. The reason why I decided to play the first part there is that just shows me that I'm right when I say that Stephan A Smith gets on his podcast and he intentionally tries to antagonize people to get a rise out of them so that he can create a viral moment and more people can know about his podcast. It's so obvious. Every time I talk about Stephan A Smith, I say the same thing. And I love Stephan A Smith. He's like generational talent, one of the best to ever do it in sports broadcast. And I'm not saying like some people are like, yo, stick to sports. Branch out, do different things, my brother, like 100%. It just feels and comes across like he's trying to get viral moments. Like he's trying to be like a Pat McAfee. Like he's trying to be, like Shannon Sharpe. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you that he's really pissed off that Shannon Sharpe is like the #1 trending person in the US from what he did yesterday, that sex thing on Instagram. I'll tell you guys about it. I talked about it yesterday, but I have another thing today in quick news. Anyways, what was my point again? Oh yeah, Stephan A Smith. Yeah, so it's just he does stuff to provoke people. You know, if you disagree with Nicki Manaj, okay, why do you have to start off by like, who are you going to argue with now? You're always arguing. Like, you know, that's triggering to her. You know, if you're having, you would kind of have a similar show, right? Where it's like, hey, Nicki Manaj said this, or this person said this. He talks about viral moments. We all do it. And if I disagree with Nicki, just stick to the point. Hey, Nicki Manaj said this about Jay-Z. She said Jay-Z was a sellout. I don't necessarily agree. I feel like Jay-Z is not a sellout, and I feel like he did a lot of this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That is how you would comment on something that Nicki Manaj says. So you could disagree with her, but him doing it the way he is doing it is purposely antagonizing her so that the blogs can pick it up and be like, yo, Stephan A Smith said this. And then, so it's like, it's ridiculous. Anyways, of course, Nicki Manaj took the bait, which is what she shouldn't have done. But she wrote back, on Twitter, she said, oh, look, another paid Laffy Taffy alien who only comes off of his knees to turn around and back that butt up. Laugh out loud. Stephan, we don't care. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't care. If I say more, it will be your fault. Sit down, ugly. And then she said, Stephan, weren't you just moaning and groaning on live in the bedroom last night? No, that was Shannon Sharpe. She said, and since we're on woman business, ladies, when should a man start shaving his hair fully? Because Stephan A Smith's hairline is ridiculous. And she also said, should it take its normal course like Stephan A Smith's sassy behind? Or should he start looking for lace fronts? Anyway, she just continually went in. She wrote another thing she wrote. She said, every week this N-word in a chair arguing with his barber, talking about it's not time yet. So whatever. She's kind of took the bait a little bit, but at least she didn't argue back and she more just made fun of him. So I like that she did that. She's making fun of his hairline, making fun that, saying that, no, we don't care what you're saying. It's pretty much what I'm saying. So shout out to Nicki for not fully taking the bait, but the fact that you still replied it makes him go even more viral, and that's what he wants. But anyways, shout out to Stephan A Smith. I still love you, bro. But just tone it down and just be more real on your podcast. All right, in our third lead story, Lil Tay's ex account shares concerning message. She wrote, "We have devastating news regarding Tay." Well, sorry, not she, but her account wrote it. And it says, "Please pray for Tay. We will be updating you as more information becomes available." For those of you who don't remember who Lil Tay is, she was an internet like viral, influencer you could call. She's actually from Vancouver. So she's Canadian, but she was like, I don't know if she's a little person or what, but she comes across like she was like 9 or 10 years old, but it came out later that she was probably like 17 or 18. But her character was this little kid going around and, being crazy, having money, having cars and doing all this stuff. It's like, who is this rich kid? And it came out where it was like all her mom's cars and monies. But anyways, you guys, for those of you who don't remember, that's who Lil Tay is. But for the rest of you, I'm sure you remember. Anyways, Lil Tay's X account shares concerning messages about her well-being and asks for prayers on her behalf. Around this time last year, a message announcing Tay's death was posted on one of her social media accounts, and shortly after, it was revealed that Tay had not passed away. At the time, she took to her social live and alleged that her father was behind the death hoax. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird. It's like, it's her parents behind this and her parents' money and her parents' cars, and they were just using her to become viral. It's always been weird around her. Anyways, so now it's that she has some life-threatening issue. Then a couple of hours later, they came out and they say Tay is in ICU in serious condition. And then around 5, 6 o'clock last night or yesterday evening, they came out and they said Tay has been diagnosed with a life-threatening heart tumor. We kindly ask everybody for their love and prayers. Anyways, everyone's in the comment section being like, oh, yeah, you get what you deserve. The girl who cries wolf will figure out this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if she is sick and does have a life-threatening injury, that's horrible and that's bad. You don't want to wish death or any, sickness on anybody. But, I mean, I don't understand why this has to be viral. Why does it have to be tweeted out every 2 hours? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is not like it's the president of the United States and we're getting updates on it. Like, I just don't understand why whoever is on her Twitter account is doing this. But I'll follow up and let y'all know if anything else happens. All right, this brings us to our fourth lead story. All right, listen to this, guys. I have shocking news from Diddy's case. Diddy allegedly punched Cassie in front of Usher, Neo, and Jimmy Iovine, according to Don Richard. All right, if you guys remember, I think it was yesterday or maybe Wednesday's episode, I told you about another case from Don Richard, who's from Danity Kane. She's the latest to file a civil lawsuit against Diddy. And I said, like, it's weird that her lawsuit is not really about her, but now we find out more details is that she's more like spilling the beans. And what she's saying is that she was working in a stressful and a physically intimidating work environment. And some people leaked parts of the court case. And listen to this, okay? Don Richard's lawsuit against Diddy exposes more than just him. It's a star-studded scandal. The fallout from singer Don Richard's lawsuit continued as more information is uncovered, specifically alleging that the hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs violently assaulted Cassie Ventura in front of high-profile guests during a dinner in West Hollywood. The suit recounts a 2009 or 2010 dinner party where Diddy allegedly assaulted then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in the presence of such celebrities as Neo, Usher, and Interscope former CEO Jimmy Iovine. According to the lawsuit, it says, in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with producer and then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. On one such occasion, Combs hosted a dinner at a West Hollywood, California restaurant, which Richards, Mrs. Dawn, and Harper were required to attend. That's really important. Required. That's what she's saying. She had to be there. Okay. The filing goes on to describe an alleged argument between Diddy and Cassie that resulted in a public display of abuse. Among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Jimmy Iovine. At the dinner, Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura were in an argument. In front of the dinner guests, Mr. Combs hissed at Cassie in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in her stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain and crying. Miss Clark escorted Miss Ventura, Cassie, out of the restaurant, and Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with his dinner guests. The lawsuit aims to highlight Diddy's alleged dangerous behavior towards women, claiming that those around him were afraid of it. Despite the presence of high-profile witnesses, including music executive Jimmy Iovine, the lawsuit asserts that the Bad Boy and Interscope deal proceeded and were financially beneficial to Diddy and allowing him to continue his abusive behavior without facing any consequences. This is huge that she implemented other people. Now, this could balloon bigger because she's naming Usher, naming Neo, naming Jimmy Iovine. Now, how complicit were these people in knowing that Diddy was doing these things? And then you're witnessing this, if this is true, and then you continue to do deals with him and make multi-million-dollar deals. This could blow up so huge. On the other hand, this is why people are saying that there's no criminal charges placed on Diddy yet, is because he has proof that could implement a lot of celebrities that were around him. And things like this, like, yeah, well, you were there at this time, you didn't say anything. That means that you could be liable. And I have pictures to prove that you were there around this time. So it's, wow, man, this Diddy case is not going to stop. And if you ask me, I think we're just on the precipice and it's going to explode. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to probably be implicated, not just Diddy. So trust me, we have not seen the end of this. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. President Joe Biden to host first ever brunch celebrating Black excellence at the White House. President Joe Biden will host a brunch in celebration of Black excellence on the South Lawn. It is the first event of its kind to be held at the White House, thanks to Trade World founder and CEO of Black Excellence Brunch. The White House exclusively tells the Shade Room that the event is in gratitude for the Black community's extensive contributions to the fabric of America. What can I say to this? I'm happy when things like this happen, but I just think it's pretty ironic that things like this happen around election time. Y'all read between the lines and you know what I'm saying. All right, in our second quick story, Luther Vandross documentary Never Too Much hits theaters November 1st. Luther Vandross' Never Too Much, a new documentary, will chronicle the life of the late R&B singer, songwriter, and record producer Luther Vandross, who died of health complications at age 54 years old. The documentary opens up in theaters starting November the 1st, and it will premiere on CNN, OWN, and Max in 2025. Woo! Yo, I love Luther Vandross. He's one of my mom's favorite artists. I grew up listening to Luther Vandross all the time. One of my favorite songs is Dance with My Father Again. I love that song. I did not know that he was so young when he died. He was only 54 years old. They say, I'm not even going to start speculating of why he passed away. I'm going to allow the movie and the documentary. So for anybody who's a little older out there, or who's like me, who parents grew up, you grew up in your parents' home listening to Luther Vandross, take your mom, take your aunties, take your grandmas, November the 1st, and bring them to see Luther Vandross. I'll definitely be bringing my mom and my aunts. All right, in our third and final quick story, Cameron sounds off on Shannon Sharpe's viral moment. Well, most recent viral moment. All right, everybody's talking about Shannon Sharpe still. I heard on the Breakfast Club that he's the most trending topic in the U.S. And this was after a presidential debate. I mean, that's crazy. On Twitter, Google, whatever, he's the most Googled person in the U.S. Also, I think a reason why everyone's talking about him is because a lot of people are saying that it was staged, it was fake, and it kind of makes sense. I didn't even think about it when I was talking about it yesterday. Kind of makes sense. And also, he kind of puts his foot in his mouth a little bit too when he went on Nightcap and then he apologized. He said sorry, whatever, blah, blah. But then he said some things that made it a little bit more skeptical. So he said that, well, the live was like a minute and a half. So then people were bugging him saying, oh, Shannon, you can only last an hour and a half. And then he was like, nah, man, I was in there. Sorry, I didn't say in there. I was doing that. I was with her. We were sexual 20 or 25 minutes before it came on. But then he's saying that Instagram Live came on by accident. So how can it come on by accident if you're already there doing the business? So that's one thing that kind of doesn't make sense. And if you guys don't know about Instagram Live, yes, you can maybe open your Instagram by accident if your, phone is on the bed or in your pocket or whatever. But there's a lot of steps inside Instagram to go live. And it's not like the phone was on the bed moving around. It was on the counter. It was on the dresser. So kind of really doesn't make sense. One thing that no one's really talking about is maybe what he could have been doing is maybe, this happened to Cardi B once too, is that he could have opened his phone to record it. And a lot of people record things with the Instagram camera, and he maybe left it on and then maybe switched it over to live or whatever. But I really don't think Shannon Sharpe, he's saying that he is, not tech savvy. I don't think he would be recording this act. And if he did, he would just use the normal camera, not Instagram Live. Anyways, so that's the speculation. They're saying he staged it, and they're saying he staged it because everybody a couple of months ago were saying that he was homosexual. So there's a lot of gay rumors. So people are saying maybe he staged it. Anyways, here is Cameron going in on Uncle Shannon Sharpe. Take a listen.
I'm not saying Shannon Sharpe is gay. I think this whole thing was staged. I think this was a ploy. I think it's a Ponzi scam. All of a sudden, you apologizing, bragging. You're not gay. It's too much going on in one Instagram joint for me.
There is also a adult website that is offering Shannon Sharpe $100,000 after the Instagram Live that went live. Shannon Sharpe has received an extremely interesting offer. According to TMZ, the porn dude and XXX website that gets tens of millions of views monthly says they'll give him $100,000 if he is willing to go on camera. Listen, Shannon Sharpe is a freaking multi-millionaire, dude. Like, he has one of the biggest podcasts. You think you're going to pay Shannon Sharpe $100,000 to go on camera and have sex? Y'all crazy, yo. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, it's Friday, so I wanted to have something fun. Name the greatest movie series you've ever seen. All right, Signed Jay said Harry Potter. Do you know I've never even watched 1 second of Harry Potter? I've no clue. I don't know. I think it's about a boy who does like magic or something like that. Or he does spells. Anyways, I don't even know what it's about, truth be told. Mystery on 3 said movies, all movies. All right. Mystery. Oh, here. Somebody said John Wick. That was a good. You know what? My sister told me, she's like, yeah, just watch one of them. I think you'll actually like it. I binge watched all of them all together. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it is really, really good. So shout out to Keanu Reeves. Flawless Jug said the Rush Hour series. Again, great series, 100%. Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan. I just don't know if I'd put it up there with the greatest, Flawless Jug said all the Fridays are the best movies in the world. Yeah. Somebody said Twilight. I don't even know what that is. Avengers. I can't comment because I don't watch cartoons or superhero movies. Somebody said Lord of the Rings. I didn't know Lord of the Rings was a series. Was it there? Anyways, I don't know. Oh, yes. I think I did know that. Yes, Lord of the Rings I do. But I think I only watched one of them. Somebody else said The Godfather. All right, now we're getting into the greatest. And even Lord of the Rings, even though I didn't watch it, I know that's like a classic. Here we go. This was my answer. And this is written by God Girl 782. Bad Boys. Yo, that's one of my favorite series ever, man. Like, for sure. Fast and Furious. You got to give Fast and Furious their props, for sure. That was Miss Poe 82, said Fast and Furious. The Bourne movies, said by Little J Proof. Bourne movies were good. I don't know if they're the greatest, but they were very, very good. Somebody else said John Wick, then Taken, and the Ocean series. I think Oceans were good, but I think it was only the first Ocean that was really that amazing. All right, somebody here put a big list. Avengers, Twilight, Mission Impossible, X-Men, Bourne, Identity, Final Destination, Jason, Freddy. You know what? I forgot about Jason and Freddy. That's old school. Hunger Games, Barbershop, Friday, Bad Boys, Transformers, Fast and the Furious, Shrek, Rocky, and Equalizer. Yo, they said greatest. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have to choose one. They said greatest. All right, you're lucky. You can get away with that. Dark Knight trilogy, for sure. Toy Story. Forgot about Toy Story. That was very good. Transformers is another good one. Saw was dope. And I don't like horror movies. Saw was really good. Taken was good. Your Honor on Netflix. Okay, that's not a movie. That's a series. All right. Jurassic Park. The Godfather. I think we said that already. Power. What? Who Gets Away with Murder? Oh, he's saying Power, Who Gets Away with Murder, and Scandal. These are series, people. We need movies. We're asking for movies. I think it's The Wire. Again, okay, these people are starting to say shows. We're going to end this. Done. Yeah, we're over. Next segment. All right, this brings us to sports news. AJ Wilson breaks the WNBA record for single season scoring. She said, I don't get any of that without every single teammate along the way. Congratulations are in order to Las Vegas Aces' very own AJ Wilson, who has broken yet another record and adds an accolade to her resume. On Wednesday, she earned the highest scoring record during a single season. According to ESPN, the Aces faced off against Indiana Fever. AJ broke the WNBA single season scoring record with 941 points with just seconds left within the first half. She broke Jules Lloyd's record of 939 points, which was set last season. By the end of Wednesday's game, AJ Wilson was at 956 points. AJ spoke about the new record, and she said, it feels great because now people will stop talking about it. It feels like it was just lingering and lingering, so I'm glad it's done. It's really cool. And then she went on to, give props to her teammates, which is really, really dope. She said, I'm also grateful to be able to play with selfless women. All right. That is it for my sports news. That is it for my week. My weekend starts right now, man. For those of you who are at work and finishing around 4 or 5 o'clock, I hope this hour was your bridge to get to the rest of your day, and you guys will have a great Friday and a great weekend. Before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Actually, before I do that, I always like to remind you guys on Friday, go back and watch all the podcasts from the week during the weekend, all right? And let me tell you how. If you're used to watching this podcast on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check us out Monday through Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com from anywhere in the world, any device. You could log on, just click listen live, and you will hear me from 11 to 12 or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area on your radio station. We play the Trent Out Loud Podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great hour, great way to break up your day. Vice versa. If you cannot always catch a show from 11 to 12, you can always catch us on YouTube and on podcast platforms. Like I said, during the weekend, you're missing some shows. You couldn't watch any shows. Get caught up. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you're like me and you like to watch your podcast, Spotify now supports video. So check us out on Spotify. You can check me out on any social platform at Trent Out Loud. And please follow the production company, Exclucity Media, on Instagram. I'm out, y'all. Have a happy and safe weekend. I'll see you Monday morning, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.